In this video, you're going to learn how to create a WordPress website step by step with Elementor Cloud. Now, we're not just going to use a website template. We're actually going to build out each page section by section, and we're going to be going over everything you need to know to build out a WordPress website with Elementor. Now, for those of you wondering, this is a website that we're going to be creating. Now, this is a renovation website, but you can use this for any service-based business, and you can just change out the images and the text and everything that you need. And then we have our services page. And our about page. And then we have our contact page as well. And the entire website is completely responsive, so this is going to look great on tablet and mobile devices. Now, this tutorial is perfect for any beginner starting out with WordPress, and you're definitely going to get a lot out of this tutorial. So I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to like it for the YouTube algorithm so other people can find this video. Now, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos just like this one. Now, for those of you that don't want to build out the website from scratch and just want to use the Elementor template, I will have that down in the description. You can just download it and just import it to your website. Now, just a disclaimer, I am using an affiliate link for Elementor, so I do get some commission, but that does help support the channel and everything that we do here. And I just wanted to mention that because I always like to be transparent about everything. Now, all the images and files used in this tutorial will be down in the description, so please make sure that you download it. Now, without further ado, here's a video and I hope you enjoy. So let's go ahead and set up our hosting with Elementor Cloud. Now, for just $99 a year USD, this is gonna include your hosting, a drag and drop editor, which is phenomenal, and some CMS tools, which is basically just WordPress. Now, for just $99 a year, that's a really great deal. It's gonna come with everything that you need. And on top of that, you only really have to pay for your domain, which is just about 12 USD. And in total, you're probably gonna be paying around 112, 114, maybe for taxes, max 120 USD. And that is such a great deal for the entire year. That's all you need to pay. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So go ahead and click on Buy Now. So now let's go ahead and set up an account. So I'm going to just type in my email and password that I want to use for my account. So now let's add our billing details. And I'm going to go ahead and just fill that out. So now we just need to choose our payment method. You can either use credit card or PayPal. So go ahead and add your payment method and then go ahead and click on Pay Now. And I will see you in the account area. So once you're in your account area, go ahead and click on Create Cloud Website. Now, if it doesn't look like that, don't worry. Just click on the button that says Create Cloud Website. Now from here, we just want to choose our name of our website. Now you can name your website whatever you would like, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call my website Dig It Renovation because we're going to be building this website for a renovation company. So now go ahead and click Next. So now it says that our website domain will be this link here. Now this is just a temporary link that we're going to be using, but we can go ahead and change the domain name later. And we will most likely do that probably towards the end of the video. So now go ahead and click Next. So now we need to choose what kind of website we are creating. So we have portfolio, blog, online store, business, and corporate website. We're going to be choosing business and corporate website. So go ahead and click Next. And now we can choose some templates, but I'm not going to choose any of these templates, but you can do that and it does make things a lot easier. But I'm going to go ahead and build our website from scratch, which I feel like is going to be the best approach to teach you how to use their website builder. But once you learn how to use your website builder by creating this template, you can go ahead and just find pre-made templates that you can use for your business or your clients. But I would like for you guys to know the fundamentals in actually editing content, changing out images, adding spacing, changing color, and learning everything that you need to know first. So let's go ahead and click on I'd rather start from scratch. So now we're just gonna wait for our WordPress website to be set up. So now our website is ready to go, but it does say to check our email for our login details. But first, let's go ahead and click on Let's Go. And then let's click on Open WP Dashboard. Now we can click on edit with Elementor, but I want to go over some WordPress basics in case you've never used WordPress before. But I'm just going to be going over the basics, very minimal stuff here. I'm just going to be going over basically what you need to be able to make edits to your website. Now, before I go over the WordPress dashboard, I want to go over the Elementor Cloud dashboard here, just so then you have at least a basic understanding of everything that's going on in your settings. So first of all, here we're going to have a glimpse of how our website is going to look like once we actually add some content to our website. And then down here, we have our domain settings, which I will be going over either in the beginning of this video or towards the end. And then we have our site lock. So currently our site is set to lock. In case we have any visitors that go on our website, they're not going to be able to view our website until we turn this off. And we can't turn this off until we go ahead and go into our email and verify our account. And you can actually set up a pin on here, and you can go ahead and change that whenever you would like. Just click on reset here. And then we have our backups. In case you do have any issues with your website, which it does happen time to time with WordPress, maybe you may update a plugin or a theme and your website breaks, or someone hacks into your website, which usually doesn't happen, but it can. And if it does, you can just restore it to the original version that you had it before. And you can also create a new backup in here as well. And then over here, we have some debugging and troubleshooting tools, which aren't that important and I'm not really going to be going over. Now in the next tab over called subscriptions, here we just have some information about our subscription account. And we currently have Elementor Cloud hosted. It tells you the bandwidth that you have, the amount of gigabytes, and the amount of visitors that you can have on your website per month. And if you want to go ahead and change your billing info and go ahead and adjust that, you can, but I'm not going to be going over that. And then we have teams, which isn't really that important right now. And then we have support in case you want to contact support or you want to watch some tutorials and learn more about Elementor. And you can even check out the community as well, and you can hire an expert. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and start building our website. So go into your WordPress dashboard. Now, if you need to reach your WordPress dashboard, go to your websites, and then on your website, go ahead and click on Open WP Dashboard. Now, if you do need to manage your site, you can click on Manage this website, which I just went over. But you can click on this, but since I already have it open up, I'm just going to start from here. So now I'm going to give you an overview of your WordPress dashboard, just so then you don't feel overwhelmed with all these settings. Now, right here, we just have our notification area. It isn't really that important. We can close all of this if we just go into screen options and we uncheck all of these in case you did want them there, but they are not that important. The main important part that we do need to worry about is our navigation bar that we have here. So first of all, we have our main top bar, which is basically our header here at the top for our dashboard. We have the WordPress logo, which isn't really that important. And then we have our we have the name of our website, and then we can either click on this to go back to the dashboard of WordPress, or we can click on visit site to view our site. Now, if we were to view our site right now, I clicked on it and I just opened up another tab just because I want to stay on the dashboard. And you can see right now that we don't have anything created yet, and that is totally fine, but we'll be adjusting this in a few moments. Now, if we go back to our dashboard, let's actually close that tab up because I don't need it open anymore. And then we have this little bubble. This is just going to show us our updates that we may need to make to our website. Currently, we don't really need to update anything, so that's why it's set to 0. And then right here is just a shortcut where you can hover over new, and you can either go to post, media, page, landing page, templates, whatever you would like. And then notes, if you wanted to add any notes. I usually don't really use these up here very often, so they're not really that important to me. And then over here on our sidebar, we have the activity log, which is basically just going to show the activity that any user has been doing on your dashboard, if they've made edits to any pages or post or anything like that. Then over here, we just have our posts in case you're posting any blogs. Not going to go too much into that because we're not going to be posting any blogs. And then we have media, and on our media, This is just where we have all of our images or videos that we're going to be using for our website. And then we have pages, which I'll be going over that here in a moment. And then we have comments in case you do have a blog website. And then under that, we have Elementor because that is a plugin that we're currently running to build our website, which is just a page builder. And you can go over the settings, not going to be going over much of the settings on there. Then we have templates, and this is where we're going to have all of our templates for Elementor. We have our pop-ups, our theme builder templates, our landing page templates, and a few other settings that we have there. You can even view a kit library in case you want to see any of the kits. And then we have appearance. Now this is separate from Elementor. This is just WordPress itself. This is where it's going to handle our themes. And currently right now we're just using that hello theme, which is basically just a plain theme. Now themes are sort of like our base, our foundation. It's just something that we had to start with. Now some of them do give you extra customizations that you are able to do with your website. But when it comes to building a website using the Elementor page builder, we don't really have to deal with too many settings when it comes to our theme because we handle mostly everything with Elementor. And then we have our plugins. Our plugins are really crucial. They're like extensions to your website. Right now, we're just going to be using Elementor and Elementor Pro, but you can add any plugin that you can think of. Just search for it. And maybe you may find an extension for your website. Let's say you want to have a membership site or you want to have a booking site, a hotel booking site. You can probably find a plugin for that. And that will basically extend your website's functionality. And that's pretty much what plugins are. And then we have users, which is pretty much self-explanatory. It's just people that you can have on your website that can edit your website, or if you don't have a website like that and you have a membership site, that's where you're going to have all of your users. It just depends what permissions you give them. And then we have tools, and these are just WordPress tools. You can maybe view your site health, you can import and export stuff, but I don't really touch these too much. The only part I probably look at is the site health. But that isn't too important if you're just starting out. Then we have our settings. These are definitely something that you should be going over. So the first one, we have general, which I can actually click on that and we can go ahead and check that out. So on general, you're going to have your site title and then a tagline. I would probably remove this. You can add whatever tagline you may use for your website, but I'm not going to be adding a tagline for that. Then you have your email that you have set up with your website. And if you're going to have a membership, you can set up anyone can register. The default user role should always be set to subscriber. You can put your site language in case you do speak a different language. Then you can set up your time zone. I usually don't touch these much because it's usually already configured. But if you need to configure any of this, you can. You can set up your date format and your time format. And then you can just click on Save Changes. If your week starts on Monday, then you can start it on Monday. And then we have our writing. Now, writing isn't really too important, just so then we can set up our email settings in case we do want to do that. And then we can also set up our default post category here, which we have it to uncategorize. But once you set up your post category in here, you can end up choosing your default post category and your default post format as well, whether you want it standard aside. But I usually never touch this up, so it's not really that important. And then over here we have reading. Now this part is fairly important. Once we create our home page, we do want to make sure that we select our home page here. Right now we have our sample home page, but we're going to delete that. And then we'll go ahead and make sure that we choose the right home page. And the reason you want to do that is so then whenever someone lands on your website, they land on the home page that we created. And then you have your post page, which would basically be a blog if you do create a blog on your website. But that isn't too important right now. And then you can also set up your blog page so at most, and you can either set this to 10. So basically, it's the amount of blog posts that you're going to show per page. And then we have some other blog options, which I'm not really going to be going over because they're not too important. Now, this part is definitely something that I do want to go over. It's a search engine visibility. Currently, right now, we have it to discourage search engines from indexing this site. And the reason is that we don't want Google indexing the site if our website isn't ready for the web. So once our website is ready for the web, then we can go ahead and click this. and then save it. So then Google can start to index our website and we can have our website on Google search. And once you're done with that, just click Save Changes. And then discussion and media, these are just other settings that I honestly don't really go over. They're not too important. We're not building a blog or anything like that. We do have our media settings, which, like I mentioned, a lot of this is not really that important. And then we have our permalinks. Now, our permalinks is something that I definitely do want to go over. You always want to have it set to post name. This is what I always like to have it set, because I would rather my link say whatever page I'm going into. That's why you want to always have it set to post name. And then we have privacy and limit login attempts. Not really that important. If you do want to set up security, there are a bunch of videos on YouTube that will show you how to set up security on your website, but I'm not going to be going over that. So now let's go ahead and start building our website. So go into your pages, and we're going to delete this page, just our default page that comes with Elementor or WordPress. And then go ahead and click on Add New. And in case you had that little pop-up, just click Next or close it, and then type in the name of your home page, which is just going to be called Home. And we're going to click Publish. Now, before we get into the Elementor editor, I want to go back and go into our settings and go into reading, because remember that we do have to change our home page and make sure that it lands on the proper page when someone visits our website. So let's go ahead and choose Home, and let's click on Save Changes. Okay, so now go back into your pages. Click on Edit Page. Edit under Home. And then go ahead and click on Edit with Elementor. Now this is truly where the fun happens, because this is where we're really able to build out our website and start designing it, which in my opinion is the most exciting part. Now we do have some static information that we need to remove. Over here at the bottom left of your side panel, you'll see this little gear icon. Click on it. And then what we want to do is click on Hide Title, and that's going to hide this. And the page layout for right now, we're going to change this later on once we add our header. But for right now, we're going to change this to Elementor Canvas. And this is going to just create a blank page for us. And this is perfect because we don't want anything else getting in the way. Okay. Now, let me go over a few things before I actually start building. So we have our side panel here, and we have all of our Elementor elements or widgets that we can use on our website. It's like any drag and drop builder. You can just drag it in to start using that specific element. And then under here, we have our settings that we just went over, the gear icon. And if I click on this little stack there, and I think I just removed it, this is our navigator. So basically, whenever I start to add sections, if you've ever used Photoshop or Illustrator, you always have your layers. Think of the navigator as your layers. And then over here, we have our history. So whenever we make any edits to our website, it's going to have our history just in case we mess something up. We can go back on that and everything will be fine. And then over here, we have our responsive, which is super important, but we'll be going over this part towards the end when we start to make our website responsive. But you can click on tablet and mobile so we can view those dimensions there. But we're going to just start with our desktop, and I'm going to click on this again to remove that bar there at the top. And then we have, you see this little eye icon? If you click on that, that's going to open up another window, and it's going to be so then you can preview your website and you can see how it's going to look like on the web. But I'm going to close this out for now because we don't have any content yet. And then over here, there's this large update button. Self-explanatory. You just click on it to basically save and update your website. Then over here, we have the save options. You can save this as a draft, or you can save this as a template. In case you want to save your entire page that you just created as a template, you can as well. Now let me go back into, now if I click on this box here, it would just take me to my elements. And if I click on this one, the one here on the left, this will have my site settings, my theme builder settings, my user preference, and notes, which is a new feature Finder. You can also view the page, and you can exit and go back to the dashboard. We'll probably go over site settings a little more towards the video once we start to build more stuff, and then the theme builder towards the end when we start to create the header and footer. So add a section. Make sure it's set to 1 column. Go into your height. Set that to a minimum height. Do a minimum height of 800. And then go into style. Go into background type. Choose your image. Click on the box image there. And then let's choose the images that we've already uploaded. So choose this image here. Click on it. Make sure it's checked. Click insert media. And then on your position, set that to center. On your attachment, leave it to default. Your repeat, leave it to default. And your size should be set to cover. There we go. Now let's add a background overlay. Click on your background overlay. Click on your background type. Click on this little brush icon. Choose your color. We're going to choose black. And then bring this to about, let's leave this at 0.35. Now let's go ahead and add a heading. So click on this box here to go back to your elements. And then now let's add a heading inside this column. Center this. Go to style. Set this to white. And the size should be in pixels. Make sure it's set to pixels. Have this set to about, let's do 60 for now. Let's change the text, go back into content, change this to welcome. Welcome. Go back to style here, and let's make this 80 instead, that's better. And let's change the font. But before we go around changing the font to everything, let's just set up our global font. And that's probably our only global setting that we're going to set up. And then maybe we'll set up our colors. I don't want to go over our global settings too much because it might be too overwhelming and it might take too long. So go into over here at the top left, click on this box here, and then go into site settings. Let's go into global colors. Let's just add our global colors real quick. So our primary color is going to be set to black. Just click on this box to be able to change the color. And then our secondary color is going to be set to a blue. Let me grab the blue that we're going to be using. We're going to be using this blue here. And the color code is the hash symbol 4D899A. I will have these colors down in the description. And then our text is going to be set to black. And our accent is going to be, we're going to use the same blue that we used up here. And we're going to add a new color here, another blue. And we're going to call this probably button blue or button color. Call this button color. And let me grab the cotton color. You know what? I don't think we need this color. Let's delete this color, and let's add it to our accent because that's gonna affect our button anyway. So let's add it there. That's perfect. And then now let's add another color, and let's maybe make this a lighter blue. This is gonna be our section blue. So type in section color, and I will grab this color here. Maybe a very light blue. And the color for this one is hash symbol E6EEF1. And in case I didn't go over the accent color here, it's the hash symbol 01576F. That should be all set there. Okay. So for the most part, that is our colors. Let's click update. Go back here. Go to global fonts, and let's just adjust these. And the only thing we're going to adjust is our font family, which is just the font that we're going to be using. Everything else we'll just do it within the editor. just because I feel like that is going to take too long adjusting everything globally, which I do recommend you do this, but for this video, we're just going to do it this way. So the font that we're going to use is called Spartan. And we're going to set it up for everything here. So set it for this one as well, Spartan. Click on the next one. Click on the font here, it's called Spartan. Just type in Spartan. For text and also our accent is going to be Spartan as well. Spartan. There we go. Now click Update. And we're all set with our global settings there. Okay, so now we can actually begin on this. So let's click on typography and make sure it's set to primary by default. And let's set this back to 80 here. There we go. So it's now set to 80. Set this to 500 instead. That'll be better. That's great, 500. And then let's add some text here. Let's go back into our elements. And then let's go ahead and choose our text editor. Drag that right under there. And let's go to style. Set this to white. Our font size, let's adjust our font size here. Set this to about 18. I think that's fine. Go to set this to the middle. So go to your style and set this to the middle right there. I might actually, I'm going to make this 20. 22 because I wanted to stick out a little more. And then let's go back to our section here. Click on your section. Now you can either click on this box here, or you can right click it. You can right click a section, or you can right click an element to actually go into the settings for that specific element or section or column. But I'm going to go into my main section here, settings. So now go into layout and our minimum height. Let's adjust this. So we want to probably set this up to about 900. That will work perfectly. And we can just use a lorem ipsum text that we got by default with our text editor. That's fine. That works. And let's adjust some of the spacing on this. So from our heading, let's go to advanced, and then from the bottom, we're going to do margin actually. And then from the bottom, we're going to do a negative, and we just want to make sure that our description here is a little closer to our text. So we want to do maybe negative 18 around there. That should be fine. Now let's add a button. Go back to your elements just by clicking this box here. And then let's go into drag and drop our button. And let's go ahead and center our button. Change the text to this. We're going to call this book a call. Go into style. And let's go into our typography. Make sure that it's set to uppercase for the transform. The weight, see here. Yeah, we can do 400 for the weight. And our font size, like we can set maybe to about 15. That's perfect. Now let's go into our stay on your style, go to style, and then make sure your border radius is set to 0. I don't want the edges to be adjusted there. So we're gonna add some padding to this. So let's unselect this. First of all, click this. And then we're gonna do from the top, we're gonna do 20. From the bottom, 20. From each side, we'll do 50. And you know what? Let's do 15 from each side, actually. From the top and bottom, do 15. You know what? Actually, 20 looks good. Let's do 20. And let's add a small little hover effect. So click on hover. And go on your hover animation. Let's do a grow. So when you hover over it, it grows there. That's perfect. That'll work. There we go. The button spacing is fine. This is actually pretty good spacing. Okay. So now let's add another section right under this one. And we'll mobile optimize this towards the end, just in case you guys are wondering. Let's add a section. Make sure it's set to 2 columns. And let's drag our section here just by hovering over this line in the middle. And let's make our first column a little bit small. Let's set this to about 32. You can see that it's right there. You can kind of see the number there. about 32%. We can adjust that there later on, but set this to 32%. And now let's grab some text, grab our headline, drag it right in here. Let's change the text. We're going to call this, let's improve your home. Go to style, go to typography, set this to capitalize, even though we already capitalized it, it's fine. So go to content, set this to the middle, go back to style here, let's adjust our line height. Set this to about 40. Let's adjust, we should have adjusted our size first, so let's adjust our size actually. And it should be actually set to about 500. And another thing that we should do is add a breakpoint here. So right after improve, just hit enter or return. Remove the spacing on there. Okay, and let's just fix this let's here. Alrighty, so that looks good. But we actually do need to add a background to this. So click on your section, go into your style, go into background, set your background to our secondary color. Don't worry about the padding on this yet. We'll adjust that later on. Click on your heading, go to style, set that to white. It's good. Go on your column, go into advanced. Your first column, click on your first column, go to advanced. Let's add some padding to this. Unselect this. From the top, we're gonna do 50. And you know what? Let's do 80. We may fix that later on. Let's just do 50 for now, and then we may just do 50. From the top and bottom, that's fine. And then now that we're here, let's go into style, go into border. Let's add a border type, set it to solid, set the color to white, uncheck this, and then our right, set this to 1. So we can see this line here that divides it. Perfect. That's why we set up the padding inside of this column instead of the section. So then our line here, we don't have any spacing on this. It doesn't get cut off there if we would have set up the spacing on the section. Okay, that's looking good. So now let's go back to our elements and search for icon box and grab this one here, icon box, drag it right in here. And we're going to stylize this first, and then we're going to duplicate it. So let's go ahead and change the icon. Click on this box here that I just clicked on, and then search for home. Now go to style. Make sure it's set to 0. Also, go back to content, and we're not gonna be using a headline. So let's just remove this headline text. Perfect. Okay. Then let's go back to style. Our content. Set this to white. Perfect. And our text sizing is already pretty good. I think it's like 15, right? But we can set it to, yeah, 15 was fine with me. So we can set it to 15, but it's gonna be around 15 or 13. And then go back into your content here, and then your view, set this to stacked. And we're gonna change that. We're gonna adjust the sizing on that. So let's make sure this is a lot smaller. We don't need it that big. And then let's make sure our secondary is set to our accent. There we go. That's the size that we want. So we want 15 for the spacing, 23 for the size. That works pretty good. And then you know what? Maybe we can adjust the spacing a little bit on this. Oh, is it padding? There we go. What's a padding within here? I see. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's leave that as is. It was already fine. And the spacing can be set to 15. Let's go back to content and let's adjust the spacing that we have here. This is where we can adjust the spacing, right? Set that to 0. That's fine. Okay. So now that we have that, make sure that you have your icon box selected. Just click on it, go into advanced, and then on your width on that, set that to custom. Your percentage, make sure this is set to percentage. Set this to 50. Set this to the middle if you can. And then right click your icon box and hit duplicate. Now we have 2 of them. Perfect. But we need to actually bring this down to the center. So click on your, the middle. Click on your column, your second column. Your vertical alignment, set that to the middle. Click on your second icon box. Let's change the icon. And let's change it to a brush. Paintbrush, make sure you choose that. Perfect. And let's reduce the amount of text that we have here because I don't want that much text. leave it about, that's fine. Something like that. Do the same thing for the next box. Go back to your content and let's reduce it to about to here. There we go. And as you can tell, that fits perfectly. Let's see. Let's update this and see how this looks. Okay. Now that looks pretty good. But we can add some more padding to this. So let's click on your first column, go into advanced, and let's set this to 80 instead. 80 from the top, 80 from the bottom. That isn't too bad. Let's do that instead. And then let's maybe adjust our height on this. So we have 800 pixels. Oh, let's do VH, sorry. This one was actually supposed to be 80. So make sure on your first section that we have here, click on that, go into it. And then on your layout, make sure you set it to VH and then 80. So now let's add another section. Make sure that it's set to 2 columns. Add some spacing. Go into advanced. On your padding, set your top to 80. Make sure it's set to pixels, by the way. And then at the bottom, 80 as well. And then let's drag this down a little bit to about here, about 32 as well. And then let's go back to our elements. Let's drag an image. Let's use the image that I've provided here. Click on this image. Go ahead and click on Insert Media. And use that image. The sizing is all fine. The width is already set. That's great. We can adjust that if we need to later on. And then let's go back to our elements. Let's add a heading. Let's change the text to About Us. It's going to be a little bit smaller, so go to Style. Set this color to your secondary. Set it to about 500, I think will be fine. Yeah, it sets to about 500. Just the sizing on this to about 18. Let's add another heading. Change the text on this one. Let's do who we are. Actually, do who we are. And let's leave it at that. I don't want to capitalize every single one. We're just going to leave it as is. This looks good. Yeah, we may just wait on this a little bit later, but you know what? Let's adjust it right now. I do feel like let's leave it like this. That's fine. Let's bring these a little bit closer. So on your second heading here, go to advanced and then unselect this. And then from the top, just bring it down, bring some negatives, and we'll do maybe about -5, I believe is fine. -5 should be good. All right, now let's actually click on our second column and go to advanced and maybe add some margin to this. Sorry, click on padding instead, unselect this. And then from the left side, let's maybe do about 50. Then we got some spacing on that. And then let's drag a text editor here. We can have some sort of paragraph. And then you want to do basically, I would just copy this one a bunch of times. Just keep copying it. And then about to here, maybe go halfway and then add a spacing somewhere in there. Like that. Something like that should be fine. And then let's go back into style. Adjust the line height first of all on this. Let's do EM instead. And let me see how here. So yeah, let's do about 0.8 is fine. And the text, make it a little bit smaller. Let's do a 19, or sorry, let's do 15. Do 15, and let's adjust the width of this one. Most of the time I'll leave it to default, but just for this about, I'm gonna shrink it a little bit. So let's do 800. Oh no, that's definitely not gonna work. Let's do Let's do about 10. Let's do about 980. 980 looked pretty good. 980. Okay. And if we need to just remove some of the text, that's fine. I mean, regardless, you're going to have your own text on here anyway. But I'm just having that as an example. That works fine. And now let's add our next section here. Actually, let's add a button. And let's remove some of this text. And the cool part about this is that we can just reuse this button. So go ahead and just copy this button. And then go ahead and right click this element here and then click paste. And it's going to add it to the bottom. And then let's, on alignment, let's set it to the left. And let's change the text on here. Let's do learn more. I feel like it's too big. So this is fine, but this button definitely needs to be a little smaller. So let's go into style and let's reduce this to about maybe 35 on each side. Do 35 on each side. And let's reduce the text to maybe 13. Something like that should be fine. A little smaller. Okay. So that works better. Okay, so now let's add the next section here. Actually, you know what? Before that, I want to add our light background that we need to add on here. So click on your section, or either right click it or click here. Go into style. Our background type. Set the color on that. Just click on that, and then set it to our section color. There we go. See that? Look how clean that looks. I don't know why that's glitching out there, but let's update this and see how this looks anyway if we did want to. And that's perfect. And something I kind of want to do to this image here is click on your main image here on your section, your main section, your hero section. Go into style and let's do attachment, set that to fixed. And what that's going to do is that we're going to be able to scroll like this. You see this? And it's kind of cool. So that's why I'm doing it like this instead. Maybe if we bring this to the bottom center, let's see how that looks. There we go. That's better. Let's click update. And now we have that nice fixed scrolling effect. You see that? That looks very nice. Alrighty. So now let's add another section here. And section with just one column. Do about 80 from the top, 80 from the bottom. Go to advanced, go to padding, 80 from the top, and 80 from the bottom. And then we're just going to copy these that we already have created. Paste it. Copy this one as well. And then paste it right under it. There we go. And then the main heading is going to be called "We Take It a step further." And then let's center this. And our subheading here, let's call this "Our Work." It's to the center. There we go. And the spacing is already great on that, so I don't think we need to adjust that much. Okay. Now let's go back into our elements. And let's grab our gallery here. Search for gallery. And choose a gallery. Do not choose a basic gallery, just choose gallery. And then go ahead and click on that box there. Add your images. So I'm going to add this one, and then this one, and this one, okay? Just upload those. And then set this to 3 columns. See how they're all the same size? It's kind of what I wanted, so it's perfect. And then go to advanced and set up some spacing on this. I feel like it's too close together. Let's maybe do about 30 for the top. There we go, that works. Okay. So now let's set up our next section. So our section below that one, we're gonna do gonna be 1 column as well, I believe. Yeah, 1 column. And it's gonna be 80 from the top and 80 from the bottom, same thing as always, using our pixels that we've done before. We're going to go to style and we're going to add a background on this. And we're going to choose our section color. We're going to copy our text that we've been using above. We're going to paste it down here. There we go. And we're just going to change out the text. I'm actually just going to copy the text that I already have provided here. Makes it easier so I don't spend that much time typing it out. So just copy this text. That's good. And then we're going to add an inner section, sorry. So go back to your elements and then just drag your intersection. And let's select your intersection. Let's go back into advanced, and from the top here, let's do about 30 is, you know what? Let's do margin instead of padding. So unselect this, do 30 from the top. There we go. And let's make sure that we have this set to the 3 columns actually. That's fine. And then this is going to be our services. So I would like the images to all be the same size, but we're going to have to adjust this properly. We might need to. We'll kind of see how this works. So let's add this image on the first one. And then what I want to do is click on your intersection, and then just on your gaps, change this to no gap. So we have no gaps on this. And then click on your image, and let's change the image to this one here. And then click on your column, and then make sure go to your style, and then go to background and set the background to white. Now you can't see that yet, but you will right now. And then grab a heading. Actually, we can grab this heading, so we don't got to redo this. So let's copy this heading here, and then paste it in here. That's fine. And then set this to the left. And it's about the same size. I think we're gonna leave it at 18. That's fine. And let's just call this service 1. Not really gonna write out the service, but I'm just gonna type in service 1. I think that's fine. I want to add some spacing in there. So you know what? Kind of tends to be an issue there. Let's just do this for now, and then we can see if we can add some padding in this. Or you know what we can do actually instead. So let's just delete that. Let's search for an icon box again, and let's drag and drop this icon box in here. And then go ahead and just remove your icon. We don't need that. We just need this. So this is all we need. And we're gonna go ahead and just change. We're gonna set this all to the left. I mean, so click on your style. Set this to the left side. Go to advanced, and let's add some padding to this. So actually, you know what? Select everything. And padding all around. That's fine. It's about 20 all around. Perfect. Except for from the top, let's unselect this and remove the padding from the top. There we go. And now let's change out the content here so that the headline here should be service 1. Service 1, and we can shrink this a little bit. There we go. And then let's maybe adjust this headline text here. Set this to our secondary. And then let's go ahead and shrink this to about 18. Let's do 20 instead. And let's set this back to 500. And let's adjust some of the spacing on here. We don't need that much spacing. That's to about maybe 7 is fine. And the text should be good. 400, maybe 15. Yes, that's about 15 already. That's good. So actually, to fix the sizing, I just made some custom images with the right sizing that we need. So go into your images and then just choose this one here, the smaller one. You can see that it has a different size to that one. So just choose this one. It's going to be called Service 1. And it'll be included in the description anyway with all the images. So just choose that one. And then what we need to do is go into this column here, go into Advanced, and then let's adjust the margin on this. So do we're gonna do about 10 from the left and 10 from the right. And then all we need to do now is just duplicate it. So duplicate and then hit duplicate. There we go. Oops. And duplicate. And now let's just delete these other ones that are empty. So you just right click it, just delete it. There we go. Now just change out the image. So we have service 1 and then just click on service 2, I believe. And the other one image, we're going to do service 3. There we go. Then we just change this out. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I even call this service 3 or service 2. It's just filler text anyway. Okay. So then now that's looking good. And of course, you can adjust this according to how you're going to be doing your service-based website. Obviously, you can choose different images, but just to give you an idea of how you can stylize that. Okay, so now let's add another section and let's do 2 columns. And same thing that we were doing before, 80 from the top and 80 from the bottom. Go into your section and go into advanced and do 80 from the top and 80 from the bottom, the padding. And then let's start on one side and then we'll work on the other one. So we're actually gonna copy this that we did up there, grab that text, paste it, and then set these to the left, and then left. And then I'm just gonna copy my text here, and you can just stop the video and copy the text. There we go. Get in touch with us. Now I'm gonna grab a text editor here. I'm gonna drag that one in here. Oops. Let's make sure that we have that one under. And then we can use the same text that's in here anyway. It's not gonna matter because I'm not really gonna change it. So that's fine. Then what I'll do is I might actually, you know what, click on your text editor. Let's go into advanced, and then on your width, let's set it to custom, and we don't need it to be that long. So let's set it about to here is fine. Okay. And then let's go back into our elements and let's grab a divider, put that in here. Add a little divider there. Let's set it to about 30. Go to style, change the color to this one here. And let's give it some gap spacing. Maybe about like that is fine, about 32. And type in list on your elements, search for your elements, grab your icon list, set it right under our divider there, and then remove the rest of them, and then remove this icon here. And then we're gonna then just go ahead and type these out. I'm just gonna copy them here. So I'm gonna paste this one, and then I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I'm not gonna add an item, just duplicate it. And then I'm gonna paste this one here as well. You see how you're gonna notice it's gonna start changing. Now, what you could do instead of this is duplicate this one. So what you could do instead of this is just remove this email here, and then just add an icon instead. Like you can probably just find an envelope and do that instead. It's up to you, but I kind of like it how I had it because it just looks a little more cleaner. So we're gonna do that, and then let's go into style and let's add some spacing from the top and bottom. Let's do about 10 from the. Let's do about 10 for spacing. Space between each one. We can even do a little more. Maybe let's do 15. Yeah, 15 looks a little more cleaner. And instead of that color, let's change it. Let's go to style and change the text color to black, so then it's more visible. Okay, that's good there. Let's reduce the spacing on this. Actually, the gap on this to about 17. All right, so now let's add a contact form. So type in form, and then just drag a form in here. And then now go into your column, go into style, and set the background to your section color. So I actually want to choose a different color for this background. So I'm going to change this to this color here. So the color code is # F8, FA, like the letter A, and then FB. Alrighty. That will probably be the only one that you probably won't, that we didn't add in the beginning. So now let's just add some padding to this. So on your column, we've already selected our column. So go into advanced, go into padding, and you know what? Make sure you have it all. Make sure you have this checked actually. And then just add some padding, and we're gonna do about 35 pixels. So now let's go to the layout, or sorry, click on your form, and then remove the label. We don't want a label. And let's add our field. So the first one is gonna be our placeholder text will be full name. And then our email will be email address. And then message can be message, but we're gonna add another one. So let's duplicate our email, and let's choose tel for telephone, and then let's type in phone number, or you can type in for the label, you can type in phone, and then for the placeholder, type in phone number. Doesn't matter, you can't even see our label anyway, but just wanted to have that there. And make sure it's all required. And let's set our phone number right under our name, just because I feel like it's more important than our email. And then let's add another one here, and let's set it to text, and let's do about service description. So I'm just gonna paste this in here just to make it easier. And then service description, and then go ahead and drag this one and bring it right above our message here, just so then they can give us a brief description of the service that they need. Actually, you know what? Instead of service description, doesn't make much sense if we have a message and service description. Let's do service subject. That sounds better. Service subject. All right. So now let's go into style of our form. And it's adjust our form text. Sorry, go to your fields, and let's adjust this text here. Make sure you click on your field, and then go to typography, and let's make this about 15 should be great. And let's make sure that we can have a border, but let's set our border radius to 0, and make sure it's checked. And then our color, our border width is fine. 1 pixel is great. But our border color is going to be a very thin color. So let's just find something very light. Not too harsh. Right? A lot more lighter than that. And let's actually choose this one here. And then let's try to get something that looks more blue. Yeah, let's do something. You see how it barely comes out? We can barely see it. Let's do something more around right here. Or you know what? Never mind. Let's actually go back and do this to make something gray. That'll be probably better. Yeah, let's do that. Color there doesn't look the best. I'm gonna grab the color that I'm using actually in here, and then you can just use the same color. So let me paste it in here. And the color is the hash symbol D3, D3, D3. And let's choose that one. That's much better. And let's go ahead and space this out a little bit more. So let's go back to our form, and let's add some more row gap on this. There we go. Now the only thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that the width of these inputs are a little bit wider. But we can't seem to do that here on the field settings, so we're just gonna add some quick CSS. I know that this is a really beginner video, but I'm just gonna add some quick CSS, guys. It is super easy. It's not gonna be hard. So what you need to do is just click on, make sure you're on your form, go to advanced, and then go to custom CSS. It's just a simple code. Honestly, I'll paste in the bottom. You can just copy and paste it in here. So I'm gonna type in selector input curly brackets, and then we're just gonna target the height, type in height, colon, and then maybe we'll do about like 50 pixels. Let's see how that is. And that's it. Okay. Very simple. I don't want to overwhelm you. I know that, you know, this can be a little bit too much, but it's just a simple code right here. You can either copy it or I'll leave it in the description and you can just paste it in here. Okay. Okay. So now that's looking great. Now let's go back into style. Let's go into buttons. And our border radius is going to be set to 0. And then our text padding, set that to 0. And then from the top, I'm going to do maybe 20. And from the bottom, 20 as well. We can even do 25. Let's do 25 from the top and 20 from the bottom. There we go. And instead of send, we can do go back to your content and go to buttons. Instead of send, you can say right here. We can say submit message. Submit, or you can either type in submit or submit message. It's up to you. I'm just gonna put in submit. Actually, it's fine. Okay, so now that looks good, and the text is fine. It's already set up with our typography that we need. We can go to buttons and adjust the typography for the button, but you know what? Let's see if we can. Let's maybe do it bigger, do more at a higher size for the font there. Just do 17. That works. And if we even wanted to, we can go in here, go to hover, give it a little hover animation, go to grow, and there we go. That's something that we wanted to do there. And then, so I kind of want to, this is more of a preference, but it's up to you. I'm actually going to set this content to the middle of this column. So click on your first column and your vertical alignment, set it to the middle. And that will bring it down. And I think that's better. That looks a lot better. I know that the alignment could be your preference, but I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think that's fine. You know what? What we could also do too is we can even add, if you wanted to, you can add some social icons here. So just add that, set that alignment to the right, go to your style, set this to be custom. Actually, let's go in here on your shape and set that to circle. And then your secondary should be this color. Or you know what? It should be white actually. So set your secondary to white and then set your primary to this color here. There we go. Let's maybe do the lighter one, their secondary color there. That's better. And then we can adjust the size. That's if you wanted to add this. It's totally up to you if you wanted to do this. It is something more optional, but we're just going to add it there. Just because it looks kind of clean if we do that. I kind of like my content at the top, so I'm going to leave this at the top actually. Let's leave it like this. That's fine. And you know what? Something I actually forgot to add as well is we actually forgot to add some heading on here. So we can put get a free quote. And then we can just copy this one, paste it up here, and then just do contact, instead of contact info, do contact us. So that's a lot more cleaner. And that's fine. And what we could do is actually reduce the message size. So if we go into content and messages, I think we can do 2 rows. You see that? So you can do 2 or 3. I'm going to do 3 instead. So that's better. Alrighty, so now from here, we just need to add our header and our footer, and then from there, we're going to work on the rest of the pages. So let's click update. And actually, before I even start and creating my header and footer, let me mobile optimize this page, and then from there we'll work on our header and footer. So let's make sure you click on this little screen icon down here, bottom left, and then click on tablet. So we can see how tablet looks like. And you know what's something I always like to do before I even go into tablet let's add some spacing to each side first. So click on this section here, go to advanced, and then from each side you're going to do 20. And that would just make sure that it's responsive every time. So we have that space on each edge here. So now go to this section here. That's to 20 from the side, and 20 from the left, 20 from the right. Same thing with this one. And same thing with this one here. And let's do this one. And there we go. So now let's go into tablet. Go back to the top here. Let's shrink this one. So let's go into style. On your heading, click on your heading. Go into typography, the heading. And then make sure this is set to maybe, let's do 50 instead. So 50. And then click on your text down here. Let's shrink the text because it is kind of large. Let's set this to about 18. Oops. 18. Our bun is fine. We can leave our bun as is for now. That's fine. This text, let's shrink it a little bit. So we're going to do, instead of 31, 25. And then this seems to be fine. I don't like how close it is, so. Now, you know what? It's fine. It works. So let's leave that as is. Or you know what? Let's add some padding to this. So click on your second column here on this one. And then let's maybe do from the left, let's do 20. And from the right, let's do 20. All right. So that's better. They're really close together. So you know what? Let me add some space on here. So click on your first icon box, go to advanced, and then set up some margin on this. Let's do this is from the right. So let's do maybe 10. See how much we in. Oh, yeah. Let's do about 6, and let's do the same thing for this one too. Let's do from the left side 6. There we go. And that should be fine. Okay, so now from here, this looks pretty good. We don't really need to adjust this one too much. I think it looks fine. Their more button is cool. This looks good. This looks good. The one that we mainly need to make a lot of adjustments is going to be mobile. So this all looks fine. This looks fine as well. And you see how we have that spacing already, so it's all set. So even if they were like a larger size, you still have that spacing on each side. That's how we added that. So that works perfectly. So now let's go into mobile. And it's definitely just mobile. So right here, our heading. Let's have that at 35 around there. 35 should be fine. And then I think we need to adjust some spacing. So go to advanced and then remove the spacing here. And let's do maybe like a -7 or something. That's fine. And let's make the text a little bit smaller. Let's do 15 instead. And the button should definitely be smaller. The text, I think it's already set to 15, but see what we can do here. Set this to 12. And the padding on this is fine. Well, something that you're able to do on mobile though, that I didn't really go over for buttons, is I always like to have the alignments. You can set sets to justified and have it set to the entire width. That's actually a really good idea. So let's do that instead. I think that'll work better. So now let's click on our section, and I noticed that we are going to need some spacing to this. So on mobile, let's set this to 20 from each side, or you know what? Let's do 15 instead. There we go. And if you wanted to, if you feel like the width, there's too much spacing, let's go back to layout and our minimum height. Let's adjust this and make sure this actually is a lot better. So let's do about 50 view height instead. Okay, so that's much better. And now let's improve on this part. So we did have some padding that we need to adjust. So remove this part, remove the padding on that. And let's do about maybe 30 from the top and then 30 from the bottom. There we go. And then let's click on our second column and let's remove the padding that we have here. And that's better, except we need to add some padding here at the bottom. So let's just click on your main section here. And I know it says 20 on each side. Let's do 15 on each side. So then it goes with the spacing that we did above here too. And then let's add some padding at the bottom. Maybe do about, we were doing 30. So let's do 40. So it looks more like the padding on the top. There we go. And what we could do actually instead is just do 50 from the top. And then do 50 from the bottom and 50 from the top. And then let's remove the spacing that I added on this column here. And just have the one at the bottom. That's fine. And you see how it's already set to fit. It's already set to side by side because each one is set already to 50%. So it's great. That should be good. Now, if you did want to add some spacing, you can just click on the column and then add some padding on the left side, or the margin, sorry, and that will work. But I'm going to leave it as is, and I might make the text a little smaller. I think that's pretty much the last thing I'd probably do is maybe set it to like 12 or something. So set it to 12 and then set the next one as well to 12. All right. And now this image here, we do need to make this image a little bit smaller because it is pretty huge. So click on your image and then adjust the width on this. Let's maybe set this to about percentage 75. 75. And then let's click on our second column within this section. And let's add some padding at the top. So let's remove this padding that we have already here. And let's set this to 20 from the top. Let's do 30. 30 is the space that we've been doing between columns. And then what we want to do as well is instead of doing 80, let's actually clear the spacing of this section. And let's do 50 from the top. I like to do 50 on mobile. And then 50 from the bottom. And then on each side, we'll do 15 instead. There we go. Now that will work perfectly. And let's adjust our text. You can set this to 15 and then set this one up to about 23. And then we'll have to do the same to all of them, but it's fine. So now that's looking good. Let's go to the next section. Same thing that we did here. I think we did 23 and 15, I believe. Yep. So 23. Add some line height to this just in case. About 1.6 and then 15 for our subheading here. Did I already have it at 15? Yeah, 15. 15, that's good. This is already optimized for us, that's great. And then let's do the same thing for this one. So the cool part is we can just copy this and then paste the style. Not gonna make a difference because if I remember correctly, they're always the same on top or whether they're in desktop or mobile. I think it's too much spacing, so you know what? Let me just align height a little bit. Let's do 1.3, and let's paste that style right here. 1.3. There we go. Now this is already looking pretty good too, except we need to go ahead and add some spacing in between each column here. So let's click on the first column, remove that spacing, and then from the bottom, let's do about 10 from the bottom. And then let's do the same thing for this one. Remove the spacing. Except for this one, we're going to do 10 from the bottom and 10 from the top. So it has that extra spacing. And then do the same thing for the third column. Go to advanced, unselect it. 10 from the top just do 10 from the top basically. And that's it. And I think the size of the headline is pretty good. I mean, 20 is fine. All right. And now let's check these. Make sure this is set to 15 instead. 15, and then we can do I think 20. Let me see. I forgot the size actually. 23. That's fine. Oh, let's set it to this one. I think I was touching the wrong one. 23. Now, something that I forgot to do is adjust the spacing on these. So let me click on this one. And we were going to do 15 for each side. 50 on top and bottom. Same thing here. And let's do the same thing for this section here too while we're here. That's looking good. Let's adjust the width of this one. Click on this description here, text editor, and the custom width, we're going to set this to full width. And that will only be set to full width on mobile, so it's fine. And let's click on this divider. Let's actually go to content here and make the width a little bit bigger. To about 50. Be halfway. That's fine. And this text is already kind of small, but we can make it a little smaller. So let's do 15 instead. Maybe about 14. And you know what? Let's flip these. So click on your section, go to advanced, go to responsive. That's the cool part about this is you go to advanced, go to responsive, and then on mobile, you can reverse the columns. You see that? Now they're reversed. And then click on your second column now that we have the one under it. Go to advanced and let's add, you know what? Let's add some margin here. So from the top, let's do about either 30 or we can do maybe 50. Let's do 50 here. Seems to be a lot better. All right. Now it's up to you whether you want this one on the top or the bottom. But I think I'm gonna leave it as is for now. That should be fine. Yeah. And I think this is fine. Maybe we can adjust some of the spacing on here. So click on this one, go into advanced, and then we can adjust this here and make sure it's all checked off actually. And do 25. There we go. And the button, I mean, we can adjust the button text if we need to. Let's go into here. Button text seems like it's really large. Let's do about 15. And the field text, we can even lower this to like 13 or something. There we go. Let's shrink this text a little more. Do 20 instead. Just kind of refining things here a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and click update. And our website should be completely responsive now. And the way we actually check that is if you right click it and then click inspect, and then you can actually go ahead and click on responsive, and now you can move this around and drag it around and make sure that it's responsive. So if we go here to the mobile side, you can see that everything looks good, I believe. Yeah, so everything is looking great on mobile. All right, so now let's add our header and our footer. So click on this box here, go to exit to dashboard, and then we're gonna add our footer and header now. So go to your dashboard, and then go into templates and theme builder. Now go ahead and click on header. Click on this header and then click on add new. And we're going to build our header. Header will be very simple.
So go ahead and add a section with just 2 columns. Drag this column over. Our first column is going to be kind of small. It's going to be for our logo. So let's set this to about 15. Around there, around 15. We haven't set up our site logo, but we should do that now. So let's add our site logo. It won't show up yet, but we will right now once we add that in. So let's go back to our elements. Let's add our navigation menu. And we haven't set up our navigation menu, so we still need to set up the pages. And then I think we'll set up the pages and then we'll set this up actually. And then go to width, set this to, make sure you're on your navigation menu, set this to inline. And then go ahead and go to your elements and then grab a button. You know what? We can just grab our button that we used on the home page, but fine. We'll just add that for now. And then go to your button, go to advanced, and then also set this to inline. There we go. But first, let's just make some adjustments before we even start to make more edits to our header. So add your conditioning, set that to the entire site. Because we still need to add our logo, and then we need to add the navigation, and we also need to maybe use the home page button that we've been using. Might just copy that over. So I want to leave this page open, so I'm just going to open up another tab. So I'm actually going to click on the little icon and then just click on preview. And then now let's go to customize. And actually the logo that we're going to use, guys, is a logo that we have on our templates. So go into, click on the your templates here, and then we're actually going to choose, one from our, I think it's in our blocks actually. Oh, it's this one here. So, yeah, go ahead and just insert, insert this one here. If anything, I'll add this to the images file, so then you guys can just use that. But I'm going to choose this image anyway. So grab this image. I mean, now we have it saved into our system. So regardless, it's fine. We can even just delete the entire section. You can still click update, doesn't really matter. Just so then it could get refreshed. So once you've done that, you can go back to customize now. And then you can go into site identity, select logo, and we're going to choose this one here, the dig it. And skip the cropping and hit publish. There we go. And now we're going to go to the dashboard here because we need to set up our other pages so then we can link them. So we're going to do, let's go to pages. And we're just going to create all of our pages real quick, and then we'll add them to our menu. So click add new, go to your pages and hit add new, and then type in services. Click publish, publish, and then go back to your dashboard. Add a new page. Actually, we probably could have done it in there. There's a shortcut. We'll use the shortcut next time. All right, so now let's add our next page, do about, hit publish. And then we can actually add a new page, so just click on that. I think that will work the same. And then let's do contact. Hit publish. And that should be all of our pages. So now let's go into dashboard. Go into appearance, go into menus, and so we're just going to set up our menu here. Let's name our menu. We're going to call this nav, NAV, and then menu. And then hit display location, header and footer, that's fine. Click create menu. It's not really that important that we even check that, but I like to do that anyway. And then let's go into view all, and let's basically select all of them, and then click add new, and now let's just sort them. So we're going to do services, and then about, and then contact. That's perfect. Click save change, save menu right here at the bottom, right? And we're all good to go. Now let's go back to our header. Let's refresh this.
and we'll see our menu here. There we go. And then while we're at it, let's go back to our home page, and let's grab this button. So just go to your home page, and then click on Edit with Elementor, and then pop that back up here. And we're basically just going to copy this and paste it. So copy this, go in here, and just paste it. And let's remove this one here. And let's set this to inline. Go to Advanced, and set this to inline. So now they're side by side. But the only issue is that our logo is kind of making this this height a little bit bigger. So we're going to actually bring this down a bit. So I think we're going to set it to about 11. Set the width of this box to about 11%. You can even go here and just go on the column here and set it to about 11. There we go. And then this will be set to 100. And now let's click on this second column. Make sure it's set to 90 actually. And then the vertical alignment, set it to the middle. Horizontal alignment, set it to the end. And there we go. Now we just need to adjust our button and our font. But let's first do our font. So we have this underline. I don't like the underline. I'm just going to remove it. So our pointer is going to be set to none. And then let's go to style here. Typography. Set this to 500 instead. The space on this, let's do about 20. How does that look? 20 is too big. Let's do about 16 is fine. Spacing on that seems to be good, but you can adjust the horizontal spacing if you want, but let's leave this to 25. No, maybe not 25. Let's leave this to about 20. About 20 is fine. Now let's adjust our button. And our padding should not be that much. Let's do 30 for sure. Our text shouldn't be that large either. So let's do maybe 13 for the text. And then maybe for the top and bottom we could do 15. 20 is fine. Let's just leave it at 20. Okay. So it looks to be pretty good here. Let's actually do 18 instead for the bottom and top. All right. It's a really simple header. And let's make sure this is mobile optimized. So click on your mobile screen in here. Bring this little drop down or this little bar here. Click on tablet. So we see how we have this issue here where we pretty much have our hamburger menu over here on the left side. I want to move it to the right side. But let's just make some adjustments. So click on your hamburger menu here. And go into content and make sure that we set it to full width. The breakpoint is set to tablet. That's fine. Now you see that they're side by side, right? So we just need to change the order. It's very simple. So click on your nav menu, make sure you're on there, go to advanced, and we're just gonna add some custom CSS, very simple CSS. So go in here, custom CSS, type in selector, just like this, curly brackets, and then order. And then order, we're gonna set this to 2. Now the thing about this is that now it's gonna be switched on desktop as well. So we actually want to set up a certain breakpoint for this. So above the selector, type in media, type in the @ symbol, media, type in some brackets here, not curly brackets, but just these other brackets. Type in max width. I'll have this down in the description so you guys can just copy this. Max width. And we're going to do 1025 is where we want this to start. Actually 1024. 1024. And then after this, add some curly brackets. And then in between these curly brackets, we're going to add our code in here. So now it will only activate anything that's below 1024. Sorry, 1024, you got to put pixels here. That's why it wasn't working. All right, so now we just need to add some spacing. Go back to your nav menu. Go to padding or margin, and we're going to add some margin here. So we're going to do about 15 pixels.
We're gonna go and go to the toggle button. We're gonna remove the background for this for sure. And then we're gonna adjust the sizing. That's perfect there. Now let's go to our drop down so we can correct this a little bit. So we can do hover set to this color here. Add some horizontal alignment so we can adjust this to the side. Vertical padding. There we go. That's better for mobile. Or for tablet, I should say. But that still works anyway. And you see how it will work regardless of the size, so it's fine. I do want to stretch this out because I feel like it is a little bit too small. So let's do, I want to say, let's do 13, that's fine. And then now let's just adjust this to about 87 or something. Yeah, so 87, 13, that will work. All right, so now let's go to tablet and let's just fix this. So on your first column with the logo, we're gonna actually do this maybe like 30 should be fine. And then we'll do 80 for the other side. Doesn't fit right now, but we can make some adjustments to this if we need to. So we did, what do we do? 30, oh, we need to do 70, sorry. So do 70, there we go. So now everything fits properly. But we do need to adjust this padding here. I feel like it's too much, so click on your nav menu, go into advanced, and then the padding, let's do about 10 instead on the left side. And let's reduce our button padding as well. So click on your button and your padding, let's shrink that, and let's do on the top, let's do 10, let's do, top doesn't really matter. We can actually set that to like 15 or whatever. Doesn't matter too much. What matters is the sides. So we can do 20 maybe, and then 20. And I believe that will work. Okay. That works, and this works fine as well already. Everything's good, so we're gonna leave this. And we can even make this into sticky header if you wanted to, so it's very simple. Click on your section. First, make sure that you have a background, so your background should be set to white. And then go to advanced, go to motion effects, sticky, and we're gonna set this to the top. And there we go. And now, actually, let's link our logo to the home page. So click on your logo. Oh yeah, it's already set to the site URL. That's fine. And now, if we go to the home page here, we're not gonna see the header yet. Honestly, we need to adjust it to full width instead of canvas. If you guys do remember in the beginning. So let's edit our home page here. And once you're on your home page, at the top, at the bottom left here, you'll see the gear icon. Click on that, settings. And your page layout should be sent to Elementor full width. Now we'll be able to see our header, and whenever we add our footer, we'll be able to see that as well. There we go. So now we click update. And there we have it. And our sticky header works great as well. And everything seems to be looking good. So now, go ahead and work on our footer. Same process, we could just go back to the dashboard. Go to templates, go to theme builder. Click on your footer, click add new here. Over here at the right side. And I'm gonna actually use a template for a footer. So we're gonna choose this one here. The blue one. You can stop the video if I was going a little too fast there. And you see how it already has our logo, which is perfect. We can set this to the right. And don't worry, we'll adjust the color of this anyway. So now click on your section here. Go into style. And we're gonna change it to our secondary color. Let's go to the one under it. And we're actually gonna choose this section here, the one under that one, and then change that to our section color. There we go. And all rights reserved is fine, except we want to add our website name. So we should put website name, whatever that may be. Ours is called Dig It Renovation. So I guess that's what we're gonna add. We'll add Dig It Renovation. And then you know what we can do? Let's remove all right reserved and let's just do 2022. And let's go to style and let's make sure that we actually adjust this here and make sure that it's set to the right one. Yeah, let's just bring this down here now. Set this to black for sure. Set this to about 500 and set it to about 13. That's fine. And you know what? We actually should do a lighter gray instead. So let's do something lighter, like something like this, about where this is at. That's fine. Maybe a little bit darker, something like that. Yeah, 72, 72, 72. So now let's just copy this one and let's paste it over to this side. And let's click on this heading here and let's just move it to the right. There we go. And now we can change this to, maybe if you created this for your client or whatever that may be, you can put created by agency name or whatever that may be. Agency, I don't know. Or you can put your company. And you know, in case you're building this for yourself, we can do Dig It Renovation, right? It was actually made by the company, so we can just put that here. And that's fine. Depends what you want to add there. So now let's just adjust some of the font here. It's even though we're gonna add this later on. Okay, now it's working. It was glitching out there. And I kind of want to make the logo white. So you know what? I have provided the, or if I haven't, we're gonna actually remove this logo and add a white logo instead. So let's just add an image in here. I'll provide it within the images, so you guys will have it there. And then just insert it, and there we go. Let's set this to the right. Bring down the spacing on this. Set up the width. Make sure it's about 35. That'll be fine. And then the text is fine. We can just remove click. Just leave the lorem ipsum. I just adjust this to white, and there we go. Make this 500 instead, or 400. Leave that at 400. And the sizing will set to about 15. And then you can use these. I'm just going to remove the ones I probably don't even use. So maybe do that if you have a LinkedIn or whatever that may be. I don't know. We can just add a LinkedIn. And then, I mean, we can either use the same style, which it looks fine. To remove the spacing at the top, though. There's too much space. So we could either use this. It actually looks pretty clean. Or we can change it up a little bit. We can go back to here to custom and set it to a circle instead. I like circle, in my opinion, but I think that's fine. Let's leave it at that. And maybe let's even bring it up a little bit. There we go. Let's do about -10. Fine. And now we are only going to have 3 columns. So let's remove the last one. And let's adjust this text here, by the way. The width, let's set it to custom. So then it doesn't stretch it out. Let's set it to about this right here, should be fine. Then we can move this out a little bit and it doesn't get too moved together. So let's set this to about right here. Well, let's add the content first and then we'll make those width adjustments. So we're gonna call this menu. Let's just call this menu. And then go to your advanced and go to border and let's add probably a border under it. So do solid and then unselect this, and then from the bottom we could probably do a little border here from the bottom. Let's do about 2 and set it to white. Let's go to layout, go to padding. Let's add some padding to this so we space it out. 7, and then I don't like how it stretches out, so let's just do a width and let's set it to inline. There we go. And that works. If we wanted to make this longer, we can call it menu links. It's really up to you. And then this actually does work as well, except just remove all of these actually. We can add our menu, believe it or not. So let's delete this. And you can actually grab your menu here. So nav menu. And then instead of layout, set it to vertical. Remove the pointer. Set this align to the left here. Breakpoint. Set it to none, so we don't have that hamburger menu. Set the color to white. That's 500. If I shrink it a little bit, about 12 there. Go to click on the main menu here. The vertical alignment should probably be a little bit more like this, and then there shouldn't be any horizontal alignment, so set that to 0. And then maybe we can adjust the text here. Set it to about 13. That should be fine. And I don't really want to hover on this, so set it to white. Fine. And now let's basically copy this one. Paste it right here. And you know what? Let's add some padding to this at the top. So let's go back to this nav menu. On the top, let's do let's do about 15. And then let's go back to this menu and let's change this text to be contact us. Contact us. Remove this. And let's add a list item. So type in list on your elements. Grab your icon list. Probably delete the rest of them, and then just grab the information that we used from your contact us page. Or sorry, grab it from the contact area. This right here. Let me show you. Just grab this. We're gonna be actually, you know what? Let's copy this. Just copy this part here. It's a list as well. So paste it down here. Go into it. Make sure it's set to white. Just the font. We'll make it fit right now. That's to about 15. 13. And then drag this to the side here. So it fits. Should be fine. Let's give it some spacing. Go to advanced and margin. I think we did 20. We were doing for all of them. Yep, it was about 20 or 15. It's fine. All right, now that looks pretty good. Or it doesn't really matter. Like I said, we're gonna adjust this anyway, and we're gonna adjust this logo here, and we're gonna adjust it as well. And then let's definitely adjust this so it's not too close to that. If anything, we should probably give it some more margin at the top. Do about 5. Okay, so now like that looks good there. I just don't like how it's not lining up, so let's click on this image. Let's go to advanced and unselect your margin from the top, do a negative so you reach this line here. And then let's link this image to our home page. So type in home, and then it should bring up the right link, and copy that and hit publish. Oops. We still, yeah, we're pretty close. So just do that. That's fine. And then I don't know what happened to our image there. Let's do that. So now let's go into tablet. Let's fix this. So what happened here though? I think we need to adjust this. Let's do 50. And then each of these will be set to 25. Okay, so that's already looking good. We don't got to make that much adjustments on there. That's fine. Maybe we can make this a little bit smaller if we need to, but not really that necessary. We can just copy and paste the style to the other one. And then let's move down to mobile. So we can either have these side by side, which is fine, or we can have them on top of each other. So let me adjust some of the padding here. So from the top, we should do about 50 from the top. Let's uncheck this. Each side will do 15. On the bottom, we'll do about 30. And now, you know what? Let's do 50 as well. And this is fine. This all looks really good, actually. And it's cool that the social icons are kind of already adjusted. And maybe we can even make the size of these a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so we'll leave it at that. The logo looks to be a good size. Maybe we can leave it to like 50. And this text seems to be fine. But I think we can get it a little bit closer. So let's just do a negative margin and let's bring it up a little bit. Go. Now these, I'm just going to set them to be 100 each. And they'll just be, I mean, you can set them to be side by side, but since there's only 2 of them, let's just have them full width. And then from the bottom, click on the last column, go to advanced. And on the top, give it some margin of like 30. Make sure you unselect this, by the way. And then, sorry, have it at 0, unselect this, and then hit 30. And there we go. So we don't really need to adjust text. I feel like it's already small enough. This is set to the middle, which is perfect. And let's just give it some spacing, go to advanced. And give it about 10. I don't know, give it about 5 for the margin. There we go. Hit publish, add condition, set it to the entire site, and then hit and close. There we go. It seems to be glitching out, but it's okay. I think they'll go back to normal, I believe. But yeah, let me probably glitching out. So let's go to the home page here. There we go. So we're just glitching out a little bit. So now that looks fine. Everything seems to be looking good. So now let's just create the rest of the pages. It will not take as long as a home page. The home page is what takes the longest. The rest of the pages is literally just copying and pasting some things and then just tweaking a few things. It's really quick. So don't think that it's going to take forever. It's not going to take as much as the home page. The home page does take the longest because that's where we do the most of the design. And the rest, we just kind of copy everything else to it. So let's go to the dashboard. Make sure that you have your home page open here because we're going to copy a lot of the stuff. Let's remove this one. We don't need that. Let's go to pages and let's obviously work on our services. So go to your services, click edit. And then click edit with Elementor here at the top. And then go into your settings and hide the title. And now it's really easy. All we got to do is basically just copy what we did here. So let's copy this one. Oops. Copy our main herald section. Paste it. Let's remove this paragraph and just have that. Let's go back to our section. And instead of 80, let's do about 30. And then let's make this text a little smaller. Do about maybe 50. Actually, let's do 60. And we just need to name it basically the name of the page. So what you could do is you can actually just make it dynamic. So go in here and then we can just do post title. And they'll say services and we'll be fine. You can, I mean, I selected post, but if you want to be really like, you want to make sure that you check the same one, you can just choose site title or page title. But it works anyway. So now let's go back to advanced on our heading and let's remove the bottom padding there. That's perfect. Let's change this image out. Let's just try to use a different image for every single one, right? So let's choose this one. Let's choose a nice one here, a nicer one. Let's choose this one here. Oops. And then let's maybe set this to the bottom center. Seems to, let's definitely not have it fixed. Let's do default. And do center. There we go. Something like that is fine.
I don't really like that actually. Let's do something else. Let's do this one. Okay, now that's a bit better. Now let's grab our services that we used on the home page, and we're basically just copying sections now. So we can grab this one, go in here and just paste it. And let's remove the background. I'm just gonna set it to white, so just remove it. Have it just set to white. Actually, you know what? Since we do want that effect, let's just leave them. Yeah, let's leave it. That's fine. And then what we could do is just duplicate this one. And that's it. It's basically all set. That's all you would do, really. And then just list all your services. And then just check if it's mobile optimized, which it should be because we already kind of mobile optimized everything. Maybe the only one we need to change is this, but besides that, I feel like everything's going to be already perfect. Yeah, so. And then let's just adjust layout height on this. Let's do about 30 or something. 30 seems to be good. So it all seems to be really easy after you create the homepage. The homepage is what takes the longest. Just to let you guys know. Okay, so perfect. Let's go to the about page here. You can honestly just click on the link. You don't even need to go to your dashboard. Click on the link and just click on edit page. And let's remove, oh, you know what? I actually did need that one. So click edit with Elementor. And then basically let's go back to our services page and let's copy that hero section that we created, just so then we can use it on the bow and we don't got to recreate it again. Just makes it a lot easier. So grab this section here, paste it in here, remove hide title. Let's call this about, or oh, it should change right now. It's probably just not updating because it's being glitchy right now, but we go in here and we go page title. There we go. Now you can change this out to a different image. I will probably change it out maybe to we can use the same image again. We'll just you know, it's not that noticeable. You can change it out to any image. I'm just using that same one that we use on the homepage for now. So now this is pretty easy as well. We basically just need to copy what we did here, but we're gonna add on a little team section. So copy this one, paste it down here, and then remove the background. And then we're gonna add another section here. Actually, let's copy this one of the sections I already have. Oh, let's just copy this one again. You know what? Let's copy this one actually. And then paste it here. Remove this section. And let's rename this to team. And since I already have the text here, I'm just gonna paste it. Call this meet the team. Let's probably not have this capital because we haven't been using that. So meet the team. And then just add an intersection in here. Oop, make sure our text is above it. And drag an image. And I've pretty much already prepared one. I'm using this one. And we can just swing that one over here. Around there. Should be fine. And then we pretty much just copy what we already did over here. We just paste this. Paste probably this one under it. Switch it to each side. We'll do change the name here. We'll do Jasmine. K something. And then we can do founder. And we can bring these a little closer together. Go to advanced on your heading. go to the bottom, or sorry, go to the top, and then just bring this up a bit. There we go. And then let's shrink this text here for the name. Maybe do about 20, 25. Go. Let's click on the section, go to advanced. Let's add some padding on this. Let's do from the top, let's do about 30. Okay. Now let's just grab some text. Oops, not what I wanted. Delete this. Let's grab it. Let's try to get it in there. Try to get it under the founder. And then we're probably going to bring this closer together, but we're going to adjust the width later. So let's just copy. You know what? Let's grab some of the... Sorry, let's go back in here. Grab some of this text and just paste it down here. There we go. And now let's go into our main section that we're working on for the teams. And let's go and adjust the width of this. Set this to about around there. 974 is fine. And then basically you could just keep copying each section and keep adding new founders as you go. Or sorry, keep adding new employees or new members as you go. But we're going to leave this as is for now. I'm going to go into tablet and make sure it's looking good. So tablet, we can make the text a little bit bigger here. So let's adjust that headline and do maybe 20. That's fine. And this is good. We can click on the second column. Maybe we can add some spacing in between that. We can add some padding on there. Maybe do about 30 or something. Probably should have done it. Honestly, we probably should have done it for desktop as well. So let's do left side 30. All right. So now let's go to mobile. Let's remove the spacing from our second column. There we go. And let's add margin at the top. Let's do 30. That looks good. Let's see how that looks on the screen right now. So looks good. That looks fine. Click update and just see how that looks. So this looks great. I'm gonna see how it looks like on mobile real quick. Okay, so that looks good. Something I did notice though is that my header seems to be on mobile. The height of it seems to be very long. So let me edit that real quick. So you can even do it from your home page or any page that you're on. You can just click edit header, and then go into mobile, and let's just adjust the height on this. What's making the height so large? Probably my logo, to be honest. So let's just do a negative on the top, do a -10 and a negative to the bottom for the logo, just because then it's a little smaller. It kind of will shrink the height of our header, which is just kind of what you want. You don't want your header to be too long, because then it kind of takes up a lot of the space whenever someone's viewing your website, or whenever someone's viewing your website on mobile, I should say. Okay, so now let's go to the last one here. And let's click, see if we can go into edit page. Now this one will be pretty easy as well. We're basically just going to copy our contact area that we added already to our home page. So go in here and go back to your home page, and then just copy this area. That's basically all we're doing. Go in here, paste that. We're gonna need to remove this title, so go to your settings, your page settings, hide title, and then go back to either the services page or the about page. We just need to copy this hero section here. Copy that, and we're gonna paste it right down here, but we're gonna move it up right now. So then we're just gonna grab it up and move it up. There we go.
and glitching out again. So we're going to do title, and we're just going to make sure that it's mobile optimized. Seems to be good. This does bother me. It does tend to be a little bit bigger, but if I know if I change this, I'm gonna have to go and change it to the rest. So let me adjust the home page first, and then we'll just copy it again. Just go to your home page, and we need to just adjust this text because I feel like it's too big. Maybe to 25 from the looks of it. 25, and 25 as well. And now let's just grab this. Let's recopy this. Save our home page. Delete this one. And then let's paste the one that we just did. And now let's look at this on tablet. Looks good on tablet. And it looks great on mobile. And then probably what I didn't go over, guys, is your contact form. That actually is super important, and I almost forgot about that. So on your contact form, in order to receive emails, you need to click on this tab here that says email, and then you can go ahead and add your email in here, and then go ahead and name your email. So this can be contact form, and then your website name, right? So you know where it's coming from. And then in here, the from email should actually be an email. Should be one of your business emails. You just use a business email in here. I'm gonna just grab this one for right now. And then the reply to should be email field, and then from should be the from name should actually be. You should grab this one here. So if you click on name, go to advanced, and then grab this short code, and then paste it in the email field. Paste it in here from name. And that should be it. And you should also remove those other stuff that I just removed here at the bottom. That isn't really that important. Just have these three. And that's it. Just make sure you have your email in here. And make sure it's a Google email or Yahoo, or sorry, yeah, it could be a Yahoo or Outlook email. And then click update. And then just do that to the form. What we could do is just copy this form here, go to the contact us, and then just replace it. In case you already made some adjustments. There we go. And then just click update. And then if you are wondering, you can also view the submissions to each form in here. So you can go into Elementor and then click on submissions. And you can actually view the form submissions in here. This is where you'll find those submissions. But that's where you can view those submissions. Now that's pretty much it for creating your website with Elementor. In the next step, we're actually going to be linking our domain to our website, because currently we're probably using a Elementor Cloud default link. So we need to actually connect our domain. And I'll be showing you how to do that in the next step of this video. So now for the final part to this video, we need to go ahead and connect a domain to our website. Now, if you don't know what a domain is, it's basically just a link to your website, just like how Google has .com, Facebook.com, Instagram.com. It's just the name of your website, and you do need to get that registered. Of course, you can't use a name that's already been created. It has to be a unique domain name that's not being used. So whenever I'm buying a domain, I like to buy my domains with Google Domains. That is what I recommend. So head over to domains.google and then go ahead and log into your Google account. Or if you don't have a Google account, just create one. So let's go ahead and just search for our domain here. So the domain that I'm going to be using is called Digit Renovations. And let's go ahead and search for that. So Digit Renovations, we're going to choose this one here, the .com. and it's only $12 per year. We're going to add this to our cart. There we go. And I'm already logged into one of my accounts. So I'm going to go in and view my cart, click on your cart icon. And so if this is only if you want privacy protection, they do charge you a little more for it. I believe they do. I mean, if they're not charging you for it, then I don't know why it's on here. But we'll leave it on for right now. If they charge me for it, then I would just remove it. Auto renew, I'm going to turn this off, but I highly suggest you leave this on in case you're going to keep using this domain. I'm not. I'm just going to buy this once just so that I can show you guys how to connect your domain. And then we have our custom email here. I don't need a custom email, so I'm just going to uncheck this. But if you did need one, you can create one. And now we're just going to click on checkout. So once you've added your contact information, just add a payment method and then go ahead and click on buy and then pay for your domain. I'm going to buy this domain. So once you've bought your domain, head over to the DNS area. And then right here, we just need to set up an A record. So first, let's go back into the Elementor Cloud dashboard. And let's go ahead and manage this website. Now let's scroll down here to manage domains. And we're going to add a custom domain. And it says here that we need to go ahead and set up an A record to this one, or we can set up a CNAME record. So it says, go to your domain provider and make sure that your domain is updated with a CNAME or A record. I like to use an A record, so we're just going to do an A record. So copy this, this to your clipboard, back into the Google Domains, make sure you're on your DNS, and then go ahead and just leave this blank. You don't really need to add anything here. Just make sure that your type is set to A record. And your TTL is fine. We can set it to where it is right now. You can even set it to 1 hour, but this is fine. Even 10 minutes or 1 hour is fine. And then here's where you add your IP address. So just paste that right in. And then all you got to do now is just click save. So once you've added your A record, go ahead and click on got it next. And then now just type in your domain in here. I believe we're just going to grab this here. digitrenovations.com, and we're going to paste it in here and send digit.com as my primary domain. Yes. Also create.com. Yes. So just have these both checked and then click add domain. And then we obviously want to set up an SSL for this. So let's make sure that our SSL is set up as well. I think it's already in, yeah, so issue SSL. So it's going to be ready pretty soon. So once that's ready, I might end up just coming back and making sure that the SSL is set up. It says that it is, but we're going to have to wait. It's for our other domain here. So we're going to have to wait on this, and then I might be back whenever that gets done, that finally starts working. So it looks to be working now. The only thing that I needed to do is just make sure that you have your site lock set to off. So make sure you just set this set to off. And we actually need to confirm our email first. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So now I've verified my email. Now, just in case you weren't able to verify your email, what you could do is actually, you can just resend yourself a verification email in case you didn't receive that email. Let's go back to our websites. Go to manage this website. Let's go into, let's turn this off. So in case you needed to verify, you can actually click on update email address and then resend the verification, and then you should be verified. It says here that I'm verified, but it might take a little bit longer than expected. So let me go back here and make sure that it is verified, because there we go. So now we can unlock the site. Now it's not locked anymore since it's not in development. And now we can go back here to our website. Then you might just need to wait a little bit till it starts to work. So now it looks like everything's working properly here. Our domain has been linked to our website, and everything is looking good.
So if you guys do have any issues on this, just go ahead and comment down below and I'll definitely try to help you guys out. Now we finally finished the website. That's pretty much everything I wanted to go over. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below and I'll try to help you guys out. Now thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video.